Alright, so we're going to be going to the junkyard today. I'm going to pick up a bumper for the Miata and a few other small things. I'm trying to get the car completely put together, looking decent, and hopefully have a nice daily. Also, I know the car looks exactly the same, but I have painted this thing 3 times in the past 2 days, which I'll talk more about later. But now let's go ahead and head to the junkyard. Alright, well, I've made it to the junkyard, and hopefully that Miata from the previous junkyard video, the first one I ever made, is still here. If not, I'm pretty much screwed. And as always with LKQ, I have to walk all the way to the back for the imports. Can't remember exactly where it was, but I'm pretty sure it was right around here, and it might have been right there where the car is gone. Oh no, it's here. It's just the Miata so small. Oh my god, I went into panic mode. But I'm gonna grab this bumper, this chassis brace sort of bar deal, and then probably a few other small things, and I should be good to go. Okay, so I'm gonna start by removing the bumper. It is the hardest part, so I just want to get it out of the way. I do not want to run out of time. Last time they were yelling at me to run to the front, and I was like not even halfway done getting the part out, and I do not want to do that again. And I just realized that for some reason they put the car down on the bumper. It looks good enough. I guess I'm gonna buy it anyways. I guess this bumper is better than no bumper. Well, I got it out. It was a complete bitch. I forgot my Phillips head screwdriver at home. I grabbed the flathead instead, and all I had was just this tiny little Phillips head screwdriver that I use for like tiny little screws, and it broke, so I was just left to manhandle everything off with the flathead, just prying and prying. It was terrible, but the bumper is off. It's not in the best condition, but it'll work. So obviously you can see how the clear coat is coming off. You can just pick flakes of it off, which is no big deal. I just got to sand before I paint. But really, this is where it's bad. It got all smashed up from that wheel right there, which kind of sucks, but I might just cut this out and run the cut bumper look. I don't know. But anyways, I got a bumper for the car now, which is all I really care about. But now I can move on and start doing the simple stuff that's actually fun to do, just undoing bolts and stuff. I'm going to grab that chassis brace and then see if there's anything else I really need. So I got everything I needed. I got the chassis brace out. It was a really quick job. It was just 2 bolts. And I also went ahead and grabbed a few trim pieces that my car was missing. So already this is a really successful trip and I'm good to go. I don't really need to do anything else, but I might just walk around real quick, see if there's anything else I might need while I'm out here. Okay, so I walked around everywhere and there's nothing really new from last time when I came, at least as far as BMWs and Miatas go. So I'm just gonna pack everything up, head to the front, and I'll talk to you then. So this is how I had to drive home. For some reason it did not cross my mind that the Miata is a bit smaller than the BMW. Now I paid $60 for everything, which I'm kind of bummed about. I was expecting to pay like 40 or so, but I ended up paying like over $50 or something for the bumper, which kind of sucks considering it's in terrible shape. And that was actually after a discount that the lady working gave me. But all in all, I don't really care. I got everything I need for the car finally, and I need to start working on the bumper, sanding all the peel and clear coat down and everything. And I am gonna zip tie it to the car, but before any of you give me shit, there's nowhere to attach the bumper to, so I don't really have much of a choice. But let's get started and knock this out. Okay, so I painted the bumper and I just did a quick job. I'm actually going to have to redo it soon anyways because I have some plans for it. It's very apparent what I'm doing if you know me. But I also got around to installing some trim pieces, and I ran into some issues with the cross brace. I thought it was just bolt-in, but it's actually not. I'm gonna have to go buy some smaller bolts and put a bolt through and then a nut on the bottom. It's no big deal, but that's just gonna have to wait till tomorrow or something, and I'll probably film a separate video on it. But now everything's good to go, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw the rear bumper on the car. Hopefully it's not too hard because I'm worried about the middle part sagging. I don't really have anything to hold it up, but I'm sure I'll figure something out. Well, I got it all done. It was a real pain in the ass, and I know it was a complete hack job, but we'll go check it out. At least have a bumper now. Now, to start off, I know some of you are probably upset about me drilling holes into the finished piece, but really, I mean, the thing was already bent. You can barely even see these holes, and it was the only way I could really secure the bumper and have it held up, so I don't really feel guilty about it. This side fits pretty well. There isn't really any fender gap or anything. I do need to tighten the zip tie up some. And also, I need to tint this indicator like the fronts. There's a lot I gotta do. And definitely got to fix these tail lights. They look really rough. I'm going to strip them back down to the ugly chrome and then take some VHT, the red tint stuff, just to make them look OEM-ish. It should look really good, and a lot of people actually do these because they look better than OEM once you get them all done, but obviously that's personal preference. And then on this side is completely smashed. Obviously I have to sand all this down. I painted it just so I wouldn't have to look at it, but once it's all done, it should look decent enough. And I mean, this is smashed in, so obviously the fitment on everything is just absolutely terrible. But at least the car has a bumper now. It looked really ragged without one, and now that I put one on there, I can see just how bad everything lines up. The exhaust pipe was actually bent in, and the trunk is sitting completely crooked, which I never noticed till I put the bumper on. Now obviously that is from the wreck, and there's nothing I can really do about it, but the car is getting sorted out. It takes time with these sort of things. It's the same process I went through with the E36. It had been wrecked when I picked it up and had to go to the junkyard for the whole front end. It was a complete mess. I'm sitting down, I'm sick of holding the camera up, but as far as the channel goes, I'm getting back to work on the E36. I actually have a just pile of parts ready to go in the car, some from Driftworks and stuff, so be excited for that. And also I'm trying to get back around to drifting. I've actually been taking both cars out a lot lately, but I've been by myself and nobody to film. I need to get more friends, so I'm gonna try and make more videos. It's been way too long, and that's how the channel started, so I need to get back to it. Also, as I mentioned earlier, I painted the Miata like 3 or 4 times the past 2 days. In the last video, I asked for suggestions, and a lot of you said baby blue, which I was like, but a lot of you asked, and I was like, why not? Let's just do it. So I painted pretty much the whole car. I used like 4 or 5 cans, and it started off nice, and then the more that I painted, the more I could not stand it. Miatas have that stereotype, and the color really fulfilled it, so I was over it. And at that point I was like, I'm just gonna paint it something. I'm sick, I'm easily distracted, but I was sick of just trying to figure out what color I wanted, so I'm like, this color looks good on the E36, the little cream color, so I was like, why not do it on the Miata? So I painted the whole car with this cream color, and it also looked terrible. So at that point I was like, I'm going back to the gray. I'm sick of messing with it. I'm just gonna do it gray and leave it be. And then I went to Walmart and realized that the cans that I used for this were $6 a piece, so I was over that. So I ended up using this like black metallic that's actually like a bronze color in the sun. It's what I painted my door panels in the E36 with, and that looked terrible. So eventually I ended up going back to the gray and spent the money, which I ended up spending like, I think around $70 or so, in spray painting alone in the past few days to have a car that looks exactly the same as it does now. So that's not cool, but whatever, live and learn. But that's as far as the channel goes. I'm talking a lot, so I'm just going to end the video here. There's going to be a bunch of videos coming out this week, and I'm really just going to start putting out a lot of content. I've actually been doing a lot lately, so I'm excited for that. And until then.